Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about some sort of party that is going to happen or has happened. I won't lie, when this came through, I started thinking about how in my high school years, a group of us at high school got in trouble for a party. Actually, I think it was someone else. Like, I was blissfully out of it. I was not involved, but it was just like a huge scandal. There's something here about who threw a party, who went to a party, who benefited from this party, or maybe even did something illegal at this party. But we have folks that are trying to disassociate themselves from that event or from those people. Now, just in case this is tied to something that's a little bit more top of mind or above the fold for newspapers, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I do feel like there is something here that could be more, like small town, or maybe someone just got like elected to town council and then there's some scandal about them going to a party. Whatever it is, we want the truth to come out about somebody who went to a party that maybe they shouldn't have. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're enjoying your weekend or your day. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Just so you know, private readings are without ads and you can watch them as many times as you like. No one else has access unless you share the link, but you can email me about that. Otherwise, what should we start off with? I think we need the Path of Shadows. Let's see how devious this party really was. And why are there people who don't want to be associated with it? What do we have? Wow, that one flew out. We have the Vampire card. In the night's embrace where desires ignite, my hunger keeps consuming all in sight. And then we have the Lantern card, guidance, illumination, and hope. So we have somebody who was perhaps indulging a bit too much, or I can't help it, I'm thinking of some of the like scandals from the 2000s where there were a lot of party girls. I feel like there's party people of every generation, right? But this is someone who I feel had tried to keep their worst moments from being discovered, and now they're coming to light. People pleasing. I wonder how much of myself I've lost in others. The pieces that remain, no one can notice. So we do have someone involved in the situation who was just trying to keep their position within a social community or a social dynamic, and may have felt like they were not able to speak up when they didn't like what the plans were or when the party got a little bit too rowdy. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. Hey dude, how are you doing? Hello Donut, what's up? How's Scotland? I've always wanted to go there. Hello Jose, how are you doing? Hello Akar. Hello JJ, what's going on? Thank you. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So we've got the Nine of Cups, the Page of Wands in the reverse. This Nine of Cups is that, like, I got everything that I want. I, had the best time ever. Have you ever had somebody that you work with come in on Monday morning and they just look like they got everything they ever wanted and you're like, oh my gosh, you have to tell me what happened. Like, I remember having a best friend that I worked with, and it was like hilarious every Monday morning just watching her walk in and being like, okay, like, what's the tea? What happened this weekend? Do tell. Do you remember? Like, we have somebody who has probably been partying, somebody who has been indulgent. But with the Page of Wands in the reverse, I feel like they've got some good PR cover, or they've got some ability to keep things on the DL. Hello, Batty. Hello, Tuxedo. Hello, Mahesh. Hello, Randall. What's up? Hello, Kashu. How are you doing? So we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. There's someone who feels like because they have access to this information that they can cause someone maybe they don't like a little bit of trouble. So it feels to me like we have some almost like betrayal energy, talking about what your friend's been up to or talking about what an acquaintance has been doing. It's making me think of like how they try to pit like pop stars against each other. Like, oh, did you see this person at the party? Were they behaving? This is like trying to get people to talk negatively about each other and what happened at this party. And there is this King of Wands, somebody who seems to be the ringleader here, who has, I think, kind of told everyone what to say. With this Eight of Wands, it's very unusual, right? I feel like it's everyone's got to say the same thing, and here's what you have to say. Maybe someone disappeared or got really sick at this party. Healing energy if anybody has gone through that, but I feel like this is someone who's saying we all have to say the same thing or we get in trouble. Hello, Rolfie. How are you doing? This is a general reading about somebody who's hiding their partying ways. Hello, Bob. No, but I can tell you that the proper way to spell then in that situation would be T-H-A-N. The more you know. I think you'll figure it out. And David, I hope you find a new place to spam or, you know, something good to do with your time. What else do we have? So Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Cups and the Star in the reverse. Yeah, this is all about making sure that everybody has a perception that is different from the reality of this person. The person who's the vampire, the partying individual, they have lost their way or they have kind of gotten stuck in their way. There could be like a close friend, someone who encourages the like wilder behavior. I'm thinking of that show Entourage, although I can't necessarily remember if there's like someone in particular who was a bad influence. But I do feel like this partner accomplice card is saying, we have someone who was saying, hey, let's really live it up. Let's really go wild. And then I feel it's almost like it's that same person who then is like, hey, check out this picture I got of this person doing something they shouldn't be doing. It feels a little bit like entrapment. The Wheel and the reverse. Hello, Robin. How are you doing? Hello, Dana. I don't go there. We have the Wheel in the reverse and the Three of Wands in the reverse with the King of Swords. I'm telling you, there is someone here who is very bossy or manipulative, and this is getting under their skin that something could potentially cause them some bad press or to, I don't know, lose opportunities. So they're saying everyone has to say the same thing. You have to give me an alibi, or you have to say that you saw me here. There's like an effort here to control the narrative and make sure that somebody looks better than they really did, or that the truth doesn't come out. Hello, Memphis. How are you doing? Hello, Jake. So one of the first cards that came out was this vampire card. I don't think they're actually a vampire, but the emphasis with this card is that this is somebody who probably spends a lot of time out enjoying the night hours, and somebody who's focused a little bit too much on desires and doesn't seem to have a lot of self-control. So it's more so saying this person has characteristics that might be attributed to a vampire who doesn't have control, right? Hello, Minor. How are you doing? I'm not your baby. My name is Carmen. Please be respectful, y'all. I do personal questions at about 30 minutes in, sometimes 35, with preference to those who tip or donate, and you can also donate memberships, and I'll pull some cards for you in that situation as well. Hello, Ripples. How are you doing? So we have Judgment. I always like it when they spell judgment correctly. See, there's only one E. Judgment is paired with 8 of Swords or 8 of Batleths in the reverse. The thing is, we have someone here who sees the truth. Even as there might be minions or friends or, I don't know, family members who are willing to lie or cover for this individual when they've basically been exposed for doing something illegal. There is a person who, I don't know, maybe they have evidence, maybe they just have a very strong intuition. Maybe this is a detective, so they have access to more information than most people. But we have someone who's like, I know something happened. To see this particular Tower card, I believe this dude's name was Hugh? Was that it? Y'all, tell me if I'm wrong. If you watch Star Trek, this is the Borg dude who got close to Geordi, and ended up thinking more individual, right? That's the only reason he has an actual name like that. So there's a groupthink. Everybody else is saying the same thing. Everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do to cover for this individual who did something they shouldn't have at a party. But we have this person who's like, I'm not going to be like the rest of you. I'm not going to be programmed. I'm not going to follow what you tell me to say. I know that something here doesn't smell right. So this Judgment individual stands up to the rest of the people who are trying to obfuscate or lie about what happened. Hey, Matt, how are you doing? Hello, Anthony, how are you? Hello, Fred. Hello, Balance. Matt, I just did? Oh, Lord. Hello, Democracia? Did I say that right? I hope I did. Hello, Funny. What's up? So, look, I think we have some contradictions or someone who is struggling to explain why there is a dissent or why there is someone who has a different version of events. And it makes it clear that we have someone who is keeping secrets. The Moon. Temperance. And the 8 of Latinum in the reverse, which would be the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So, this is like someone leaving a door open when they go on vacation. So it makes me feel like this is access to information. Maybe I'm able to see, you know, your location on an app. Maybe I'm able to see, you know, where your phone pinged a cell tower. I don't know. But I feel like there is some work that was left undone or some access that could not be changed. So this King of Swords who's telling everyone what to say, they can't control all the information. They can only control, oh, let's give it like 90%. And they were hoping that would be enough. But because we have this one person who feels like they don't want to go along with what everyone else is saying, they know that something is different, they're not falling into that groupthink, they know there's a secret here, I feel like they end up finding whatever this 10% of information was that they couldn't control, that the King of Swords could not control. My. Hello, Hit, how are you doing? Are you really that passionate about it, huh? We have the Seven of Batless, which is the Seven of Swords, and the King of Cups, or King of Starships in the reverse. Ten of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody who's saying they were somewhere that they were not. And it could be that we have video evidence of this person being elsewhere or not being at a party. I think it's about them being at a party. There's evidence that is found, and it makes it clear that we have someone who lied. Hey, it's great that you have 6 people telling me that what you say is correct. The problem is those 6 people could actually be lying, and this videotape is not, or this, you know, GPS locator is not. So what's going on here? Almost like now there's even more suspicion or more attention because there's been so much effort made to avoid being tied to this, right? Three of Starships, or the Three of Cups. The Four of Starships, or Four of Cups. And the Knight of Cups in the reverse, or Knight of Starships in the reverse. So this is like an excuse or an alibi or a I didn't do it, I swear, that completely fails. Maybe initially people are like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. But with the Four of Cups, and probably because this one person's not willing to go along with what everyone else says, now we have someone who is moody and frustrated and pacing and trying to come up with a better strategy because they cannot control the flow of this information. They cannot control the gossip. And they certainly can't control this judgment individual, the one who was like, I don't believe you, or I'm not going to say what everyone else is saying. Hello, Du. How are you doing? Thank you, Ralphie. I appreciate that. So we've got the Eight of Cloaks, which is the Eight of Wands. Someone's taking quick action. Okay, so here's the thing. The person who knows the secret is this High Priestess, and who doesn't love Deanna Troi, right? Look, super intuitive, but also I feel like this is about, I know the information is right, or I know I can prove what really happened. So someone who wants to control this information, this King of Swords, who's like, no, this is how everything went down, and I'm making sure everybody else says the same thing, they're going to end up feeling surrounded. They're going to end up feeling like there's too many people out there who know the real version or who know their secret. And this High Priestess is just like, I knew it. Hello, Zentry, how are you doing? Hello, Runny, what's up? So we have the Queen of Batleths. Not messing around. It's like, I have this information, I know the truth, I know the secret, and if you're not going to be honest about it, I'll let you get through with your little story and your song and dance, but then I'm going to tell everyone what really happened, and I'm going to have receipts. It's like if you were to watch someone on a witness stand lying and feeling like they're going to be able to get away with it. Very like Perry Mason, but you have the evidence that they were so confident you wouldn't be able to find. And then they get called out and they get recalled to the stand and they have to answer to the fact that everything they just said was a complete lie. Eight of Cups. So somebody was not there. Somebody was elsewhere, whatever their story is, it's falling apart. And now these other individuals who followed that direction in terms of what they were supposed to say, now they're being pulled aside like, hey, what really happened? And it's like, well, I don't know what to do now because apparently the thing that I was told to say, I can't say anymore. So we have an even greater sense of being surrounded, or there's problems here. Nine of Wands, we're, you know, defensive, but we don't have any other strategy. We don't have any other place to go with this, because they can't just be like, oh, whoops, yeah, I got that wrong. It was actually this, because they told a whole story and it was orchestrated and everybody said it, right? So this is starting to look like a more serious problem. All right, this is the signs of the times. Oh, a lot of people do that. Oh, I'm sorry you don't like it. Hey, look, if it's not for you, that's okay. I'm gonna put you in a minute timeout, which is not very well, or very long, but if it's not for you, then just keep it moving, okay, guys? So this signs of the times is, for me, it feels like there's going to be something about community, because there is the need to convince, you know, the people at church, the people at your workplace, your family, or, you know, the small town you live in. But trying to, you know, there's this desire to keep the peace or believe things, right? But they took a chance that people wouldn't find this evidence that contradicts their story. And now they've had to alter their story. And, you know, we've seen that with, like, Amber Turd, for example, right? Hey, Elvin, let's not do any weird stuff as far as, like, giving away fake vacations. Strange. Oh, close midnight. It's actually just one R in tarot. Okay, so there's somebody here who is doing what they're doing because they're worried they're going to lose their power. Whether that's, you know, on the PTA, or if they're actually a politician, or if this is somebody that feels like they're going to be able to get what they want in a divorce settlement, but they need to make sure that they don't let slip that they're, you know, partying or that they cheated. There's someone here who's realizing now they're not able to control the information the way that they thought they could. Hello, Harvey. Hello. How do I say that? Dejumu? Did I say it wrong? I hope I didn't, but I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Ronaldo. How are you doing? We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Wands in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands. I feel like there's someone who loses community or loses a lot of money, maybe even gets kicked out. So there could be, you know, some accusation here of infidelity if this person is married. There could be some concerns here as far as, you know, lying about a double life. But I feel like multiple things change for this King of Swords at once, because their lies are, you know, now quite obvious, or there's receipts to contradict what they were trying to get everyone else to believe. Hello, TPO, how are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry you're having a rough day, but I do hope that it gets better. How's it going, Zats? Yeah, some people try really hard to, you know, like cover up what's really going on. Oh, well, I'm sorry that we don't get along, Zentry, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, okay? Hello, Rodney. How are you doing? We have the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. This is that hidden accomplice. I don't know if this is like someone was intentionally trying to get their acquaintance caught, or if someone just didn't want to, it's like, well, just because I went to your party doesn't mean that I want to sit here and lie to everybody about what happened. I don't know that it's really that devious. I feel like this is just somebody who's saying, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not interested in telling everyone what you think I should tell them. The Tower and the Eight of Pentacles. So this person has put in work, the High Priestess. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of makes me feel this, like this aligns a little bit to a recent documentary that was shared. I feel like there's someone here who put in work because they actually had a belief that something needed to be more public, that people needed to see what was really going on, because this King of Swords, King of Wands was a little bit too skilled at controlling their own reputation or controlling the narrative, right? So I don't know if they're going to be able to continue that. Hey, HJ, I'm not sure if you're talking to me. Hello, Dana. How's it going? I will keep my eyes out for that. Oh, there it is. Do the kids hate? I hope not. Me or Bon. Because they find out about... I will add that for you. I sure hope that's not the case, Dana, but we'll see. So we've got the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So now this is like a nightmare for this King of Swords. They feel betrayed. They feel like there were things that should have been able to prevent this from happening, or people that should have prevented this from happening. And because this is not something that just like happened overnight. I feel like things blew up. There were a lot of questions. There were a lot of people asking this King of Swords what was going on. They came up with like, here's the storyline. But I feel like over a long period of time, this judgment individual or the High Priestess was like sitting there watching, like, I'm going to keep track of all of this. And when the time is right, I'm going to tell everyone what I know about you. So even though this King of Swords feels betrayed or feels like people are not coming to their defense, the reality is it feels to me like this is just the truth is being told, and the King of Swords isn't able to supplant the truth with their lies and pretend that everything is great and happy and fine. Hello, Armando. How are you doing? Hello, Tony. This is the Situations deck. Let's see if there are any legal cards that come out for this person, because it seems like there could be some criminal issues here. Yeah, I do feel like if this person was in a relationship, they are now single. There's something here that they tried to portray as a very happy, healthy relationship that was not. It does not have to be in a romantic sense. It could be someone was trying to make it seem like they were really good parents when they really weren't. This could also be someone who was saying, you know, my relationship was excellent, everyone was happy, and they weren't. Nightlife, gamble, take a risk, Vegas. So this person was definitely out there enjoying the party life. I feel like there's someone who gets asked about this person and they tell everything. They're like, yeah, no, I maybe don't have the same experience as everyone else you've talked to, but here's what I remember. And it just contradicts what everybody else, the party line, like, and nobody else is saying this. And with this daily hustle, I feel like everything was about money. So we could have someone who was lying or stealing, or there was maybe a lot of clout chasing here. So we have recalling and commitment. Yeah. So I do feel like at the very least we have someone's partying ways exposed, probably also some infidelity or lack of trust, maybe even failure to be a good parent. But we have somebody who had been pretty successful in getting everyone to believe that everything was great, everything was fine, I'm the perfect person. Not so much anymore. Now it's like more people are starting to listen to the high priestess because there's receipts, because there's actually like documentation this person has been lying, right? All right, I'm gonna start with the personal questions. Let's see. So we've got, and thank you again, Dana, for being patient with me. Do the kids hate me or Bond because of finding out about the relationship? Specifically, it feels to me like the issue is being lied to. And I feel like that encompasses more than a relationship conversation. I feel like this is, I don't know that I can trust my parent, you know, or I don't know that I can trust you to tell me the truth. It feels like there's always like variations or differences. So I think there's an underlying lack of trust between him and his kids. We have the World in the reverse, Two of Swords in the reverse. So in order to repair things, it does feel like at least one child here is thinking, like, just talk to me with like honesty in mind, or like prove to me that you can actually like not lie about things. And then maybe I would like respect you. But I do feel like this is someone who, even if they're younger, it's like, I see through you. I know that you're lying to me about stuff. But it's greater than that. And what about with Dana? Yeah, there's some communication issues here, but again, this is a focus on Ace of Swords. I want the truth. If you all would, you know, be honest with me, or not lie about where you were or what you're doing or who you're talking to, then it would be easier for me to feel like I could respect you. But I see with the Six of Wands, there's a possibility that you could address this. I do feel like it has to start with Bond, if that makes sense. All right, I got a lot going on today, so I might end this one a little bit early. But I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.